Hello. KeeN is out of game. And I don't know if they're going to get into the move 3.
Yeah, so we goofed a bit, guys, on timing. We thought that game series bracket was like pretty much all set and good to go. We were not correct, as it turns out, but luckily there's still a lot of games, and we're still waiting on this one either way. So we'll have matches.
Okay, so KeeN 1-2-0. Now it's just a matter of getting Elazer back from AFK. And getting the lobby to work. How am I not able to enter my own lobby?
Starcraft said enough of your shit. They're like, all this chick does is fucking complain about everything.
Maybe.
Yeah, nah, okay, I guess that might be true, correct?
No. Alright then. It worked, and Lazer's back.
I'd really appreciate if people didn't discuss other streamers in our Twitch chat. For fear of putting me on tilt.
I can't stop, won't stop.
I know that using our stream as the platform is not the correct place to do it, but I really want to talk about that thing I saw in the history. But I will bite my tongue for the time being, as we are getting into game. King Sejong Station with KeeN and Elazer. So this will be a TVZ here on the European server. KeeN, a fantastic player. So is Elazer, though. And the whole Korean dynamic may not be that big of a factor here.
I think these guys have been playing, if I'm correct. These are the two ones that they're playing constantly. I'm going to go check that, actually. Because they played in other Corsair Cups, of course.
Well, KeeN won 2 cups while I was gone, because I just actually had to pay him out. As we are, by the way, fully caught up on payments to players, guys, which is a good feeling, because unfortunately for the 2-3 weeks I was unable to use my arms for the most part, I could not send people PayPal money.
So he actually lost to... Those aren't frequent enough. Wait, who's the... okay. I'm gonna do the intros. In the top left on King Sejong Station, he is the teal Zerg Elazer.
And in the bottom right, he's going to be coming from Korea. It's the red Terran player KeeN.
Yeah.
So, quick question for you before we get into the matchup.
Okay.
Do you think, or rather, have you lost weight?
I might have. Anywho.
Are you worried about getting it back? Did you call the police?
I'm not worried about getting it back. The match I was thinking was actually versus Guru, I guess. Guru beat KeeN in the last Corsair Cup. And then I think he beat him... Oh, KeeN beat Guru in the last Corsair Cup. So I was getting my Zergs, my European Zergs messed up. I was racist.
I heard this is a great joke. I'm just going to segue this with real quick before we get into the serious parts of the game. So is your refrigerator running?
Yes.
Great. Tell it to run for president then, because both options suck.
Oh, you. That's a good one. I'm laughing in my head right now.
Topical humor. Hilarious. People watch this pod a year from now won't get it.
Just like the West Wing. Yeah.
Actually, that's assuming that we still have the internet a year from now, because God knows what could happen.
God knows what could happen to you Canadians over there with your terrible... Oh, I can't even. I wish we had...
I just feel like, and this is me being political, perhaps I shouldn't be because there's rules against it, I know, but you get someone hot-headed like Trump who's like so quick to like, get mad and angry at everyone on Twitter, give that guy like the keys to nukes? Oh fuck, we're gonna have a bad time, man.
I'm pretty sure it's a little bit more than just inserting a key, hopefully.
Well, everything I see in the movies is actually entering 2 keys.
And counting down, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, we have an SCV Scouts, I guess. Where's the Reaper? I was gonna say, KeeN is going for the most typical build you can see from Koreans nowadays, or from any Terran, actually. But especially Koreans. So it does include a Reaper. The SCV Scout, I guess, was just to make sure Elazer didn't go for like a pool first and didn't catch him off guard with the command center. That's actually not a build that's too popular on King Sejong, I would say, but better safe than sorry.
And I don't know why this rumor started up between games, by the way, but people keep thinking I'm at Gamescom for some reason. I am not, and even if I weren't badly injured, I wouldn't be there anyways, as Blizzard is too busy flying out other people and not myself. So I would not be flying myself out there, that's for sure.
Yeah, we really don't have it in our means to fly out to Europe for conventions and stuff. Maybe North America stuff, but
I'm a little sad, like, thinking that Homestar Cup may be our only European adventure in the near future, but I would love to go back sometime, at some point.
Yeah, exactly. Oh well. Reaper gonna get into the little nook here and get a scout going down, but I mean, you already saw the third base. You know that's not gonna be, well, chances are it's not going to be a big attack, although those have been kind of sneaky lately, trying to get that timing down while they pick up in their medevacs, which KeeN is going for, of course. Now, Elazer doesn't even really have to scout, to be honest, to know this is coming. He could absolutely guess and be like, he'd be right like 90% of the time, especially against the Korean Terrans. And these guys have faced each other before. I was thinking of Guru for the finals, but KeeN and Elazer have met each other before in these tournaments. I mean, they play them all the time, so it was pretty likely for that to happen. It's just been a longer time between these two than it was between him and Guru. And actually, let's check the brackets. Yeah, it might be KeeN and Guru again. I actually said that a live Guru would be the semifinals, which I still very strongly believe is going to be the case. And that Bilui versus KeeN would be the other semifinal. So that could lead to another rematch, third rematch in a row for Guru and KeeN.
For those unfamiliar with the format of the Corsair Cup, by the way, we will be casting both of the semifinals, regardless of who makes it. But oh no, KeeN's wall is not finished. He does luckily have a lot of Marines, though, so drive back those Zerglings. Small moment of like, oops.
Yeah, the timing wasn't quite perfect for Elazer on that. Because sometimes they do not have the wall finished before they pick up in the medevac. Oh, medevacs. Oh, bye. Bye. Bye forever. Where are you going?
It's the sickest fake. Like, this sounds stupid to say, we're laughing, but I actually think this is a fake.
We've seen it before.
Nope,
these two random medevacs fly out, and I think before it was also just rallying.
Yeah, it has to be rallying because he would have boosted if he was actually thinking he was dropping, right? You want to get there as fast as you can. The reason I was thinking the fake for a moment was if he was just trying to draw a laser to be on the left side of the map and actually not be in position anywhere else, much less outside of his own base.
Up there, we now have 16 Marines. I mean, that's actually like a crucial 30 seconds a lot of the time to not just be instantly boosting over and dropping down, but it looks like he's going to just go for a creep, really, by going off to the left. I think if you're really going to try and go for, like, queen kills, you're going to go to the right. That's neither here nor there. I mean, the point is you're getting something done here, and you're keeping the medevacs alive. Behind this, KeeN is getting additional barracks before his third command center, so we are going to have a tank push follow-up with a single engineering base, single upgrade. This is like, King Sejong can be 50-50 split on whether it's the faster third or a tank push. Frost seems like as long as it's not cross position is always going to be the tank push. And then every other map is basically the third CC down. But this can be very powerful. There's a couple of positions that you can abuse with tanks, and I think that's why KeeN is focusing on the left side. It's taking a pretty decent fight with the Lings, especially if combat shield was done. He would have taken a great fight, so unfortunately it wasn't, so ended up being a little bit better for Elazer.
He tried to drop in the third base at the same time, but that got completely cleaned up. So one Marine left in the medevac heading back towards the main. I mean,
that's not good.
Really top-notch defense out of Elazer.
That's actually really, really poor. I mean, you're going to want as many units as possible for the follow-up push. Makes sense, right? And especially if you don't get anything done with the drops that sacrifice your units, that's just really, really, really bad. He also did not get the creep spread. I mean, he's missing this one, and the queens came back here and immediately replanted anyway, so doesn't really have the easiest place to push with this. And well, Elazer doesn't know it's happening. He never got a secondary scout, or actually even a first scout in the main base. His creep spread will see it, and he's at a decent drone count. He's got a fourth base set up. He can just make army units right now and be comfortable with that. Medevac does not die. Pretty close to it though. This is just not a super scary push quite yet. It's really about how he controls the tanks. Lings from behind might catch reinforcements. A lot of banelings, and they're rolling too. Well, not a lot of banelings, but the important news is they're rolling. Oh, they collide on the tanks. Not ideal. More coming in here, and this is going to be enough to clean this up.
so many queens though as well. I mean, gonna easily push back some of these medevacts. I love that he's actually putting that creep back down too before it fully recedes.
Yeah, just immediately gets right on top of it. So KeeN's in a very bad position, honestly. He lost both of his tanks now. This is a reinforcing tank.
Oh,
he doesn't have
these
upgrades, doesn't have third CC.
I just want to point out, these are doing pretty well with just like 1-1 over 1. He's about to have 2-2 shortly.
Yeah. The real problem here, he's actually scanning. You see the scans like this, and they're just checking to see how far out of the game they really are.
Wow, a laser. Very nicely done.
That was the first time we saw KeeN kind of slapped for doing that follow-up build, and I really think it's because imagine if he had 16 more Marines. He had 3 medevacs, all full of Marines. Let's say he loses 6 or 8 or something like that. That's still so much more with a follow-up push, so much scarier. And Elazer really didn't have a lot of banelings. He could have screwed up had those all been there.
Well, I think that goes a little bit back to what we saw earlier with those medevacs too. Like, was this even like a top game for KeeN? Did he kind of slack for it? I mean, it's game 1. Maybe that was just one bad game. Don't overanalyze the type thing. But let's see what happens here for game number 2.
Yep, and it's gonna be his map choice. It might be that King Sejong's really not his favorite. I mean, there's not too many complaints from Terrans. They complain more about other maps, but that's the second time we've seen him do the exact same push, and that actually did better than last time. Last time, I think this Corsair Cup that you still weren't casting, I want to say. I can't remember.
I missed like 2 or 3.
Yeah, okay. Then he got, like, he didn't even get to do the push. He did, like, the drops, they got killed, and then he got counterattacked, and then he lost. It was kind of depressing. Yeah, Frozen might be a lot better for him. After all, he chose it. The winner of this will go on to face the winner of Bilui versus Super, the one that we almost cast. That should be getting over soon. Alive has already advanced to the semifinals over Strange, where he will most likely be facing Guru. Gnome Skull. Gnome Skull is reset for 7 months. Says thanks, Riffin ZG. Thank you. Yeah.
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 Why are we doing that? What's going on here?
I don't know. We're just buying time.
Blech. Blech.
I mean, KeeN. I was actually watching a little bit of Gamescom, I suppose, because it wasn't like the panels or anything. It was the Video Games Live. I just happened to go to YouTube and saw that it was on, literally live. Blizzard has some pretty good. I couldn't tell if it was supposed to be all the games are at Gamescom. It really was just a Blizzard video games live, but they're doing all World of Warcraft songs the time I entered. I think their plan was to do Overwatch songs after, but I had to get the stream set up, you know. I went to a video games live concert once, and it was a variety of games. I also went to a Final Fantasy concert. I really liked that. Video game music is good.
Did they do the opera from Final Fantasy 3?
Yes, actually.
That's actually amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, so I didn't really have emotional impact with that, right? But everyone else around me was like, oh, awesome. Stuff like that. Anyways. So, in the second game, we have in the bottom rights, down 1. It is the blue Terran, KeeN.
And his opponent in the upper left, he's actually the one up 1 in this series. It's going to be the yellow Zerg, Elazer.
Looking pretty damn strong after last game, but maybe that was the map. Maybe KeeN has a different plan here. Again, going to be casting both semifinals. Probably going to be TVZ and a ZvT. So you're getting, I guess, along here. I mean, KeeN has been performing very well in the last 2 weeklies. He did get to the finals and beats, actually won 1 and then got 2nd place in another. So it'd be very odd if he did get knocked out 2-0 here versus Elazer. Elazer's very good, so it's not like I overall would be surprised, but just for a Corsair Cup, KeeN seems to be kind of on a hot streak.
Yeah, I mean, we see so much KeeN in a lot of things, whether it's Ting Open qualifiers, whether it's Alima Leagues, whether it's Korean Cups or that don't exist, or our Cups that do. I I always, for me, it's weird though because I've got the Terran bias. We've always been over that. I never actually count on KeeN a lot of the time. I hate to say it. Like there's that one really great run we love referencing back with Gfinity. Like, God, they said like 2 years ago now, something like that.
Yeah.
And since then, we've not seen any great performances out of KeeN, which is a bit of a bummer.
Yeah. Just his online cup hero.
For me right now, I'm on the Elazer hype train so much, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that he is so close to qualifying for top 8 BlizzCon. There's a lot of weight on seeing whether he can get through to the Copa Intercontinental and get the points there to actually get to that top 8. I mean, there's a lot for this guy right now that I think he's definitely worth talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, you consider, rewind back to the start of the year, the only thing we were really referring to Elazer for was that guy who could beat Snoot sometimes in a ZvZ.
Thanks to Roy Kyle for the 6-month resub. Yeah, he was kind of the talk of the WCS European qualifiers 2 days ago. Do you remember if he made it to the top 4? Top 2, bottom 2?
I believe he did. I remember he had that series versus Drogo, actually. Let me go look that up really quick.
I'm pretty sure Drogo was knocked out.
Because there's the whole thing with now we got to worry about whether people get through the server qualifiers between the passport qualifiers, because that's a thing. And
yeah, so that's really, really awkward. And certainly, I mean, if he's not and still in the passport, he does have those server qualifiers to fall back on. But it's kind of a big deal for him. Actually, a lot of the players just forgetting, I suppose, that there's two events. Puck forgot last night. They remind him on Twitter.
He's in the losers bracket finals versus Showtime, so he's still got a chance.
Cool. So we're going to be casting that on Wednesday, I think it is, or something like that. It's very odd.
24th,
Roche,
whenever that is.
Yeah. Oh, today's Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So roaches are on the way. So Elazer was doing a build that very much so could have been just to counter 3-Rax Reaper. Like the pool first was fine. Then he threw on a Roach Warren. I was still a little unsure if he was still not sure what it was, because sometimes we see that and they cancel it once they realize it's not a 3-Rax Reaper. Now he committed full on it. It's actually going to be a Ling Roach all-in, a very old-fashioned all-in, I would say. Like we've seen a couple of 2-base Baneling all-ins come back in a style for whatever reason. And we've seen certainly Roach rushes, 3 or 4, and they turn into Ravagers. But a real old-fashioned, just as many Roaches as possible, as many Speedlings as possible. KeeN's probably going to die here. He really doesn't have very many needs at all. He went for, a stronger tech path, assuming that nothing was going to happen in the early game. And his Reaper was trying to find those Lings for so long, it just stayed back here, couldn't get a scout off, and that's what Elazer was hoping for.
Yeah, and as the roaches come in, there's actually a Widowmine. Might get a sweet hit. Goes off on the Lings instead, so not too bad. But the depots are still down. He's not going to keep those roaches back. Oh my god, that last second grenade, though, almost launched roaches over the wall. That could have been very bad for him, but Elazer still comes in with a large force of units. He's going to focus down that depot pretty quickly. SCV's trying to repair. They get on it just in the nick of time to buy a little bit more time.
Ooh, that was very, very close. All right,
this might just hold.
Yeah, I think Elazer has to back off right now. Unless he plans on making more Ravagers, he's not going to be able to break this. And he's not killing too many SCVs. Tank's about to pop out, and the time's gone. The Widowmine gets a second shot. Overload's gonna die, so no high ground vision. And this is held fine by KeeN. This is held pretty damn well. Elazer does commit a lot to do this off of 2 bases. Now he's gonna tap out.
GG. Okay, well, KeeN gonna quickly tie up that series 1-1.
Yeah, almost. I think that was a good idea, but it did collapse once he couldn't break down those supply depots. Elazer needs to restart StarCraft 2. That's fine, as we're going to go to a break anyway, so see you guys. What?
Before we do, let's get this donation out of the way. Zarjo donates $5, and he says, Peter Ness had 2 friends, Joey and I know what this is from. One day they asked him to go to the library, but he said he did not want to. Penis said, Va, Joy, now. Okay. It's a vagina and a penis joke. Did you see that Peter Ness penis blackjack video or whatever?
No.
Okay, we'll talk about that more later. Go to the break. We'll see you guys soon.
Welcome back. We're in the ace match on New Gettysburg. In the bottom right, as the yellow Zerg, he is Elazer. Quay?
And just double expanding quick, I guess. I was gonna say this isn't proxy hatchery stuff, Scarlet Styles.
Right?
His opponent in the opposite side of the map, bottom left side, is gonna be the Korean Terran KeeN. Just recently tied this up 1-1 with a fantastic hold.
Yeah, so the drone scout is not... This is the first time we've seen this. Versus a Terran, too. Exact same path, I recall. I mean, maybe it was a Elazer did it before, but I actually don't think so. I think it was another Zerg. There must be some proxy that the Terrans are doing on New Gettysburg that we just have coincidentally not cast yet. I mean, certainly that happened all the time in Arena, right? And there was drone scouts on that map for it, but I don't think we've seen proxy barracks wherever Elazer was scouting on this map yet. So it's very interesting. It does cut into your economy a little bit to drone scouts. It's usually not worth it unless you really... Unless it's like Lily KeeN, right? You know you're going to be looking for something very specific, like a proxy factory or proxy starport. There's just no reason to. Most Terrans aren't going for those proxies. Being pretty safe. I think it's like... It may be one of those things where you just die to it on ladder, so of course you're going to be checking it for the next, like, 48 hours.
Yeah. We actually see that trend quite a bit amongst players in tournaments. Obviously, that's a little bit more confined. But if you ever have that blind opening, the question was, like, did he just get hit by this somewhere else? And is that why he's behaving as such?
Yeah. Well, the Reaper is normal, and Elazer just needs to make sure not to... Actually, ideally, not even lose any lings to this. At this point in time, it's like Zerg's gotten too good, and you just... hope to get 1 or 2 lings if you're good enough as the Terran player. The third base goes down. As I brought this up in the first game, that like usually you scout this and you know everything's going to be pretty hunky-dory, but especially on New Gettysburg, we've been seeing a lot of like don't drone your third base. I think it stops at like 36 drones, something like that. Go for a Ling Baneling all in. And no matter what the Terran is doing, you know, there's a chance that it works. They either are picking up in medevacs, or they're going for like a greedy third CC like KeeN is doing, and don't have a lot. Their Hellions miss the Lings flooding in because they would go to the north, and Hellions going to the south. Like, it can be pretty damn good. I think it is more ideal to do against that faster T-Rex though, and not someone who's probably going to be playing pretty defensive, like on guard for all-ins. And properly controlled Hellions can just end Ling-based all-ins too, so it's always a little bit tricky. They can also just die super easily because it gets surrounded. You know, it's hit or miss. But Elazer would be choosing to do so within the last, like, this next round if he was going to do the all-in. He actually sees Hellions, which is a pretty big scout. You know they're not going for that second barracks pretty quick. Doesn't see a third CC, and that is not normal. We've been seeing people go for, like, Hellion Banshee occasionally, or Hellbat attacks, of course, still exist, so they're not super popular, but third CCs are kind of a thing of the past. The amount of pressure you don't get from this is usually not worth the economy you do get. So, we'll see how KeeN makes this work. This is a slow Overlord. Elazer, one of those Zergs still not getting fast Overload speed every single game. Oh, it seems like a stylistic thing, I guess. Did not see the third CC. Saw the timing on the barracks though, which is like, maybe you really read into that, you can say they had a third CC. Roachhorn was thrown down, double evolution chamber as well. Seemed to be because he saw the Hellions, but it could just be that this is the style he wants to do in New Gettysburg. If you have enough Lings, they'll deal with Hellions. If you have enough Banelings, they'll deal with Hellbats, if that's what you're really worried about. But Roaches are also a catch-all. See if he transfers away from them. Oh, you know what? He canceled the Roachhorn. I was gonna say, I don't know where it was, so where to go. So he canceled it. So it was just because he saw the Hellions and realized it wasn't gonna be anything too deadly. Esbin75, thank you for the 6-month resub.
I'm pretty excited about this game shaping up to look like a bit of a macro match. One thing I want to see out of KeeN would be certainly how does he deal with the Lasers late game? Because the Laser's a guy who will throw Ultralisks at you. He will also swap over to like Corrosive Biles and Fungals if he realizes like that's the better combination of things. But he's a scary late game player, and I want to see how KeeN deals with that. New Gettysburg setting up for that kind of nice scenario.
KeeN has a single medevac? Yeah, just a single medevac. So this is still a very dangerous push out, especially because he's going to the north. Wide open area that, okay, the tank might survive because it get picked up, but everything else will die. It does have stim, and this is just a very not scary attack. Elazer is actually going to try and take advantage of it. I guess only 2 Hellions were made, so they tried to help. Go into that third base, no bunker. Gonna get a couple SCVs and force the attack back, not that Elazer was too worried about it.
Still no combat shields. Marines do have to be a little bit careful.
Yeah.
Especially with stimming.
Yep. Upgrades are pretty damn even. Infestation Pit instead of a Spire, so Elazer is... Yeah. I mean, still sticking to more the European way of playing, right? Even though it's no longer with Roaches and Ravagers, it is still the faster Hive. KeeN gets a scan on that Infestation Pit, and that's pretty damn important. I mean, KeeN Korean, right? And he has been playing against Americans and Europeans that have been going for a Spire. It's a very important scout. You know, that is an option. Both are an option. You want to know which one you're setting up against.
The timings for this, I think, are really funny, because I always remember noting True's like 550 Hive timing and stuff back at the start of Legacy. Now we see a lot of Koreans, not Koreans, Europeans, whether it's Elazer, Snoot, whoever, go for like the 7 to 8 minute Hive if you are going to be rushing that out. I think TLO is another guy who likes to get Hive tech up really quick. But it's funny to see just the way that timings change, and I don't know if it's just the rush isn't worth it or do they really need a mid game in between. Either way, Elazer, because of this later Hive, he's got units to fight with. He actually comes into this third with a pretty nice force, goes for the tank. Bailey's even going to win in the middle of the map. KeeN losing it on 2 different locations, and his third base gets massacred.
Yeah, the tank goes down. This entirely went down. The Widow's even going to pop off. And while it will eventually be cleaned up, this is just a ton of momentum that KeeN is not being able to work with. I mean, this is all supposed to be hitting before Hive, and Hive can actually start now for Elazer.
My God. First, that's 13 workers killed, but look at that income graph real quick. He just spiked up to 3k Elazer, while KeeN with mules is only barely sitting on 2.
Yeah. Finally have our graphs back. We've been casting so much official stuff.
I know, right? I missed the graphs. I was like, so that's why, oh my God, it wasn't the difference in economy. It was like, oh my God, we have graphs! Ah!
Amazing. Well, the upgrades have fallen behind for KeeN as well, and this is what I was really worried about when it came to the third CC. I just feel like, okay, the idea is that you get such a quick third CC, you're going to have this big, powerful rush of production, maybe you have this overwhelming, surprising amount of units. Well, he pushed with, like, odd amounts and without their upgrades. Had he not lost, had he just been defensive, okay, fine, maybe Elazer is already done with a Hive, because he realizes KeeN is playing passive. But then I think KeeN has a better push potential than what is right now. I think his push potential is very, very small. I know there's like the upgrades aren't that far back and the supplies aren't that different, but creep spread's got to be cleaned up on. I mean, he's got to choose to go to the third or the fourth. Yeah. It's very hard to figure out where to plant your attack as a Terran player on this map.
That creep spread is super monster right now. I didn't realize how good he had set that up, because he's got all the bases spread out and he's connected all of them. Then he's got a little bit going forward now towards that watchtower. A couple Baileys trying to pop off on the Marines over here. Nice split. The one split out of KeeN worked out magically.
That was cool.
Because of some auto attacks out of Elazer.
Yeah. This is interesting. Instead of going for an Ultralisk Cavern, which still a lot of people are doing, going for the Broodlords. This is what Snoot's been doing for quite some time. I think this is not like Snoot's got it figured out or anything like that. I think it's more that like so many Terrans have finally figured out how to transition easily into anti-Ultralisk. There used to be like this hard stopping point where they'd try and all in and then they would die. They couldn't get a fourth base. They couldn't get enough Liberators. And it was terrible, right? And they'd try and like kite ultras with like their armor, and it wouldn't work out. Now I've been seeing, especially because we've been casting more Beyond, but from other Terrans as well, just a seamless transition into late game. Ones that ultras are no longer the easy peasy let's win. With Broodlords, you might still get that surprise factor, which might lead to an easy peasy win. Basically, Zergs have to try now. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not that biased. Yeah, me. Oh, me. I guess that Spire also could have just been to complement the Ultralisk. I mean, I think eventually go to a Greater Spire, but he's actually getting the Carapace upgrade and a couple of Corruptors, and certainly going along with what I was saying, right? Like, they have to try. It's no longer just get the Ultralisk and hope to God that the Terrans suck versus Ultralisk. It's get the Ultralisk and make sure that you have Lings to surround, Corruptors take down the Liberators, Queens to transfuse. The Ultras need help. They're not just the A move to win that they were 4 or 5 months ago. And Elazer's getting that help. In fact, Elazer's a little bit... he might have to sacrifice his base. No, KeeN's not going to go for it. I say KeeN has a bit of a army supply lead here. Oh, buy medevac. And the Queen? Spore Crawler. No!
So close, but so far. Yeah, there's that one mission in the campaign, if you recall. You're like fighting against Kerrigan And you gotta like help recover those data files so you can hop from island to island with these medevacs. It's like the first time you get medevacs.
Yeah.
Or the Goliath or no, Hercules is the giant dropship. I would love if they had a map like that set up where like you could take advantage of small drop spots. Nothing that would sit more than like 4 or 5 Marines and nothing that would be in range of anything, but somewhere you could just drop to heal safely. That'd be kind of cool. Dude, Gettysburg would be like the map you'd think that would be on, but that's a lot of Widow Mines. Oh my god, he's got like a half-moon crescent of Widow Mines set up in the middle of the map. Takes out a lot of these units. Elaser's like, where's the end? They show only before. There's actually like 7 or 8. Loses all his Lings, loses all his Baelings, and now it's just Ultralisks. Now, don't get me wrong, just Ultralisks can still work in some situations, but not against Liberators and not against what is Ghosts on the way.
Yeah, Elazer is going way too far forward. I'm not even sure why. His bases aren't under attack. I guess this one was about to be, but he needs to pull back. He needs more Lings. He needs Corruptors. He needs Fungals, I would say, too, but at least Queens on the front lines transfusing. This is not an army that you want to just have out and about. KeeN could take advantage. I don't know why he's attacking.
Yeah, I mean, he's used the Liberators. Maybe it's a little bit just like, oh, you got a planetary and I lost a base. Like, he feels a little bit too needy to attack, but obviously not the case.
Yeah, he didn't even, if he had just pulled back when I said he probably should have, he would have been able to save this base. It was like 6 Marines without a medevac.
Either way, Elazer's had a lot of money. He's had a lot of income for the majority of this game. It's funny to see him without a bank, though, and I guess that is just that cause of all the late game units being so expensive. But Greater Spire on the way. Not so much interested in Broodlords, really. I am more interested in his Corruptors. Right now, the Ghosts are going to have a very interesting decision to make, and choosing to either snipe the Ultralisk or the Corruptors.
I really like how KeeN has played out this late game. He had really no momentum or push power in the mid game, but he rolled with it. He got a faster 4th base. He really quickly got up to a good number of Liberators. And while the Broodlords might still be a bit of a problem, without Fungals, I would say KeeN is okay. Like, it's really about splitting a micro against Fungals and link surrounds where things get super messy for the Terran player.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I like that he did not overpush. We talk about that too many times in this matchup and other matchups too, where you just try to drop so much, you bleed out slowly over time, you just don't have a late game army because of it, and always looks so embarrassingly bad, actually. But KeeN made a lot of the right moves. I love these turrets coming down. He knows Corruptor's gonna be a problem.
And I wonder if you watched last night's GSL matches. There's this really epic one that was like 30-40 minutes long. Elaser's gonna go for it, but again, he's missing a couple of pretty key units. He's gonna run through the Liberators. Ghosts are cloaked, and they're about to get a bunch of snipes off. In fact, they're a little late to the snipes, but still.
The Zerg army just melts. Now, the Corruptors might be able to take out the Liberators for it, but I mean, both players lose a lot. I actually think KeeN's in the funnier spot where he can recover a little bit easier. Although,
I really...
asterisk on that, because I guess there's no way to really deal with that Corruptor count.
He should have had his snipes faster. All those ultras would have died a little bit sooner, and there would have been more bio left over. He definitely was mismicroing for a second, probably splitting some other front, you know? But he does have the power to recover, and we saw that that type of army can win out quite hard against Elazer's type of army. And now Elazer does have a lot of Corruptors. He's going to turn them into Broodlords. We do have some Vikings on the way.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Vikings being the way to counter this. Obviously, you'll need some, but it's just, they end up being such dead supply, even if you win the fight. Might lose everything on the ground floor. I actually really like the idea of a lot of Widow Mines. Sounds a bit silly, but with how much Corruptors seem to clump up, whether you get the baits, whether you go for Drilling Claws and just position them underneath it, I think Widow Mines could actually do pretty good given certain scenarios. But either way, as you said, Vikings on the way. He's got +2 air weapons finishing up too. This will benefit the Liberators as well as those Vikings. Planetary not quite finished, just lifts it to keep it alive. Smart moves out of KeeN.
Yeah. Those are 3/3 adrenal gland lings, so they will tear down. Even if that was a planetary, if there wasn't support for it, they would have killed it. Now they're gonna die, and the game continues on. A bit of a split map scenario. We have a single Liberator gonna try and do some harassment. Elazer was thinking about this, but
he doesn't have Liberator range. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, this looks very awkward. It looks like someone's like got their neck and their shoulders.
Yeah, this is him shrugging with the Liberator. No, this is positioning, I think, hurting him because he's up along the edge of the top of the map. There's nowhere to actually maneuver, but
yeah.
He actually just doesn't have Liberator range. So, not that it's a huge problem at the moment. It would make a big difference when it comes to trying to keep those units back from the Liberators. You got those Widow Mines, the Vikings, you name it. The Corruptors can't really fly into them so easily.
That is quite worrying. Ghosts have got to get their snipes down first and foremost, and there they go, sniping the Broodlords, in fact. Got to start miking away from the Ultras so the Liberators can do their job, and this was a bit better of an engagement, but it might just been better numbers for Elazer.
Yeah,
actually, not getting on top of the Liberators.
The Liberators almost did their job and taking care of the Ultras. We got a couple last snipes coming out, even some Widow Mines going to be burrowing down, but by choosing to prioritize the Broodlords is not a bad choice. The sad thing is, though, he did lose out to the ground army underneath it. And just barely, too. Like, this is an Ultra with, like, 5 health that just won't die.
I think he realized that he couldn't win the Corruptor War, but if he won the Ground War, then maybe he can take on the Broodlords, too. And he's very close to it. I mean, the energy's almost there on the Ghosts.
Yeah, he's looking for a couple more snipes. A lot of these Broodlords are seriously one hit from dead type thing. No more Vikings. That's a little unfortunate. Corruptor's being on the orbital's gonna, sorry, not orbital. Planetary is gonna help take that down a little bit quicker. Marines coming in and focus on some of the Broodlords. Not too bad to see. 9 Marines at a time finally have a use here in the late game.
Yeah, finally some snipes go down on the Ultralisk. Oh, Widowmine could get a really good hit on those Corruptors.
And it does! The splash damage is awesome on both sides. It actually takes down Elazer's army. But man, Elazer, once again, the money game has been where Elazer's been at this game. He's got the top middle base. He's at the entire right side of the map. He had, up until a moment, a huge bank. Puts that into Ultras, puts that into Lings. Whereas KeeN, unfortunately, is struggling to get his supply back up. And the problem is, he doesn't need cheap units like Marines necessarily. He really needs better units like Ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely needs this to be down. Preferably with, I mean, he does have his main natural in third. By 17, 18 minutes, you would think it's already been tried to lift and take like one of those easy bases you hope they don't attack into. But he needs to mule drop. He needs minerals more than gas right now.
I'm loving, too, seeing how Elazer's been handling this late game. He's really not been throwing away a lot of his units needlessly. I would argue that last fight we just had was probably the worst fight he's had all game, and that was still pretty good.
Wouldn't mind help a little bit. Lings are scary when they're fully upgraded. If Elazer commits too hard on this, we do have an army about to be here.
Yeah, I don't know. He's going to try and get the... I mean, he'll go down thanks to the Corruptors, but the Corruptors taking some heavy Widowmine hits, already a little bit low. Marines focusing on the Ultralisk, perhaps a bit of a mistake. Does try and kite away from this, but this is possibly one of KeeN's last armies. He's down to 22 workers. He just lost a very important expansion that he needed.
Yeah, he needs to lift his orbitals and try and get something free here. 29 workers went down. I guess he wasn't on the highest work count before that either. And while his ghosts finally have energy back, Widowmines are getting some good shots. That was a worthwhile trade for Elazer.
By the way, update to the brackets while this goes on. Billowy actually does beat Super 2-1 barely, so he'll be fighting the winner of this series. Other side of this is still Guru or Sleep fighting against what is alive.
Oh, with your natural too. Try and take the bases while you can.
Take the island base! Well, actually, there's Broodlords and Corruptors, maybe not. But at the same time, neither player's ever scouted upon bases. We're 20 minutes in a game where nobody has even sent an Overlord or a scan to either of these 2 island bases. I guess it is out of the ordinary, so players probably aren't thinking too outside the box, but man, if KeeN took that base with his main and just mule hammered the shit out of it, that would be so much free money that's not going to get affected anytime soon by anything.
Yeah, I agree. You know, it's not like he has 5 extra orbitals, but he has been banking quite a lot of energy, and that would have been a freebie for some time. This one might have even been possible if it wasn't for like this one Corruptor. Yeah, but they're not thinking about it. Bit televisioned makes more sense for the Zerg because you know he's taking bases, he's fine, and it's a little more effort to get his economy over here. But for KeeN, oh, that could have been a freebie. He does mule drop on this base, but as I said, like not a super big mule drop. And his economy still is, yeah, being greatly outproduced by Elazer.
Well, this was a fun game to watch. But I love that we have another instance of a foreigner taking on a Korean.
Yeah. Thanks to Savager291 for the 713 sub. Love you guys and your awesome streams and community. Thank you. Ghost, you're getting some snipes on the Broodlords. That was a decent start to the fight. Widowmine's still around too, but I just don't think he has enough. If only Ghost had more range. Alright, this is gonna be game. Elazer not like out, I mean he doesn't have like triple the army supply yet, and his Corruptors are really what his army supply is about, but he's just gonna be able to reinforce. GG!
Elazer locks it down with that late game that we were so excited to talk about and possibly see, and he'll move on to the semifinals, ready to go against Billowy, I hope. I mean, he's been doing pretty good so far, but Billowy's another tough cookie who I don't think will be an easy semifinals match to fight.
Anonymous donates $5 and says, "Can we get more epic intros like last night?" Sup, Terrifican.
I think what helped with last night was we were feeling a little bit silly from the NA cast. The rap part was whatever, but it's just we had a lot of fun themes go throughout the night. The whole Slytherin thing, Harambe. It was really easy for me to craft this like thing that was basically the retelling of the evening. We haven't really had a lot of epic stuff happen today. Frankly, Corsair Cup's been a little bit dull, so I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. That's if I could feel inspired enough, maybe I will. You know, they say, Zambia, I don't know if you've ever heard this, that money is sometimes the best inspiration. I'm just saying.
I've never heard that, but I believe it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. We'll go to a commercial break, and we'll get into the semifinals shortly. It's 2 Koreans against possibly 2 foreigners. In fact, it is, because Guru wins over Sleep. So we got Korean Terran versus European Zerg, and then Korean Protoss versus European Zerg.
Cool. All right, we'll come back, I think, with Alive versus Guru first. They've been ready a bit longer. Yeah. See you soon.